Welcome back, everyone, to the channel that keeps you in the loop with what actually matters. Today is November 25th, 2025, and the world didn't take a day off. We've got a suicide bombing that just pushed Pakistan and Afghanistan to the edge. Stock markets suddenly smiling again. Real movement toward ending the war in Ukraine. Heartbreaking floods in Gaza. A surprising handshake between two African rivals. And Taiwan quietly dropping the biggest defense budget in its history. 6 stories, 6 different corners of the planet, all happening in the last 24 hours. Let's dive in. Imagine a normal Tuesday afternoon in Islamabad. Crowded market, people buying groceries, kids running around. Then in a split second, everything changes. A suicide bomber detonates in the middle of the crowd. At least 12 dead, dozens wounded, bodies under rubble. Pakistan's interior minister didn't wait long. He went on live television and pointed the finger straight at Afghanistan. His exact words: "This attack was planned, financed, and executed from Afghan soil." If that accusation holds, it's the most serious incident since the Taliban returned to power in 2021. Why should the rest of the world care? Because the Pakistan-Afghanistan border is one of the most sensitive fault lines on Earth. When it cracks, refugee flows, militant spillovers, and even Chinese megaprojects worth billions get caught in the middle. Within hours, Pakistan sealed the main Torkan crossing. Trucks carrying everything, from apples to cement, are now stuck. The UN immediately called for calm and an independent probe. China, which has poured $60 billion into Pakistan, issued a rare public warning about security. Right now, both sides are one miscalculation away from something much bigger. Here's the headline almost nobody thought we'd see in 2025. The United States and Ukraine say they have a 28-point draft peace plan that Russia helped write. Closed-door talks in Geneva. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio leading the room. Sources describe the mood as surprisingly constructive. The framework reportedly includes phased withdrawals, security guarantees for Kyiv, and a gradual lifting of sanctions on Moscow. Remember, this war has killed tens of thousands, displaced 10 million, and turned European energy prices upside down for 3 winters. Europeans are nervous. They weren't in the room. Germany and France worry the deal gives Putin too much. But wheat prices rose 2% today because traders suddenly believe Black Sea shipping lanes might reopen. Is this the beginning of the end? Or just another false dawn? We'll know soon. For now, soldiers on both sides have been told to hold fire in key sectors. That alone is news. While diplomats talked peace in Europe, nature delivered cruelty in Gaza. Unseasonal torrential rain turned tent cities into lakes overnight. 5 people drowned, including 2 children. Hundreds of families woke up waist deep in freezing water. These aren't normal tents. They're the only homes for people displaced multiple times in 2 years of war. Sewage systems were destroyed long ago, so now disease is the next threat. UN teams worked through the night with pumps and blankets, but aid trucks were delayed again at the border. This is what happens when conflict meets climate. Small storms become catastrophes. The Red Cross just launched a $200 million emergency appeal. If you've ever wondered why peace in that region affects the entire world, this is one heartbreaking reason. Let's talk money. Wall Street, London, Tokyo, pretty much every major exchange closed in the green today. And the reason is simple. The U.S. Federal Reserve is finally blinking. New numbers showed American consumer confidence at its lowest since April. Translation: people are scared to spend. When people stop spending, the world's biggest economy slows down, and everyone feels it. Markets now price in a 76% chance the Fed cuts interest rates in 2 weeks. That's huge. Lower rates equals cheaper mortgages, cheaper car loans, cheaper credit card debt. For millions of families, That's the difference between just getting by and actually breathing again. In London, the FTSE jumped because investors think the UK might follow. In Asia, exporters love a weaker dollar. It makes their products cheaper overseas. So yes, today the markets celebrated. Tomorrow will tell us if the celebration lasts. Wrapping our events, Taiwan unveiled a $40 billion special budget on November 25th for military upgrades, signaling heightened resolve against China's territorial claims. President Lai Ching-te announced funding for the Taiwan Dome, an advanced air defense system with radar and interceptors, plus submarines and missiles. This comes amid U.S. pressure for Taiwan to shoulder more of its defense, with Washington approving $2 billion in sales this year alone. The context: Beijing views Taiwan as a breakaway province, ramping up military drills since Lai's May inauguration. Cross-strait tensions have economic costs. Global chip supplies, dominated by Taiwan's TSMC, face disruption risks, as seen in a 5% semiconductor dip today. That's our look at November 25, 2025. From the tragic bombing in Pakistan straining ties with Afghanistan, to market gains on Fed hopes easing global borrowing, progress in Ukraine peace talks offering European relief, floods devastating Gaza's camps, the DRC Rwanda pact fostering African trade, and Taiwan's bold defense push amid China worries. These stories remind us how interconnected our world is. One event's shockwave touches us all. What do you think? Will the Ukraine framework hold, or is Taiwan's budget a necessary shield? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for daily updates. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, stay engaged. See you tomorrow.